fellow mentee of the Mel and Dave program. We're going to be talking about raising capital.
Hello.
Oh, there we are.
Now
We're also
on the phone.
Instagram. Okay, this is kind of weird.
So let me just set it up.
And so we're going to be talking about raising capital, a few, I guess, things that Jon's tried out, a few things that we've tried out, and also... there he is. There's Jon.
Perfect. So yeah, we're just figuring this out, and
I'm gonna say, there we go. And we're going to be talking about what we love to drink. Yes. Are you there, Jon?
Hey guys.
Oh, there you go. There's Jon.
Hello.
So I guess we have to do the same thing on Facebook. So
yeah.
If you're in our audience, we're under our company page, so FL Homes Corp, and not like our personal profile. So
yes.
All right.
Experimenting tonight. I was listening to a podcast this afternoon in the traffic jam on my way back. It's from the Right Club, and they were talking about podcasts, and sometimes you just have to kind of wing it. And
we are definitely pros at winging it.
Yeah,
definitely.
So,
only thing I don't know is how do I get on your Facebook one here?
Okay, we were hoping that you were going to be a pro about that one.
One second here.
That's okay.
Do you see where it says?
Is there a way for you to invite me on the Facebook one?
Yeah, that's what I have to figure out. Let's see, crossbow.
Wait, that one you're going to see somewhere?
So it's an experiment. We're just learning. So viewers, comments, and
If somebody who's watching knows how to do it, please tell us.
You can do there's lots of features, of course. There's the chat.
I have you, maybe you can't join a live on Facebook like you can on Instagram.
Yeah, no, actually I just read it, but yeah, it was a post from 2019, so maybe it's outdated. Well, we'll just focus on...
for sure.
So, yeah, we're going to have Facebook Live and Instagram, but Facebook, I guess they'll just see us.
They'll just see you guys, which is totally cool. Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, we'll have to let them know, the people that are watching the Facebook Live, check out Legacy Homes. It's an awesome couple, investor couple. Cheers.
Cheers, yes. Did you get
Thank you.
Yes. What is your drink of choice?
Okay, so one of my favorites for when I don't have the time or the energy to make my own drink, I love the gin smash. So there's the original and there's the cranberry, and I like just a regular gin and soda with lime, but these are great if you just want some quick drinks, if you're entertaining. They're awesome. So refreshing blend of Georgian Bay gin, lemon, lime, tangerine, and mint, lightly carbonated and not too sweet. And then this one has the cranberry. So I'm gonna go with the cranberry tonight.
Awesome. So you're gonna put it on rocks?
Normally I would, but we'll make it easy and I'll just drink out of the can tonight. So cheers.
Yes.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Salud. Yeah, we'll just focus on the Instagram. I just turned off the Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think we'll recenter this.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, Facebook will be for next time.
Yeah,
so that's great. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
We'll figure it out.
Nice chatting with you. Oh, I see some of my colleagues from work. Rosal, hey. Cool. So, and there's some people, Zachary Baird, Swan Holmes, and Dustin Naruda. Yeah, cool. So we have some people watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin's, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a mortgage broker out of Hamilton. And
oh, nice.
Do you work with him?
I haven't actually done a deal with him, but I fully plan on it. So if you're still on there, Dustin, wait for my call. But he definitely is, he's great. Like he spent some time with Amanda and I on the phone, and we talked about some different options, and definitely, I'm expanding my power team, as I know you guys are as well. Mm-hmm. And always looking to keep my options open. So having Dustin there is great. And he is really stepping up his social media game. So make sure to follow him, Dustin Aruda Mortgages.
Awesome.
I think he might be Dustin.Aruda. I forget. Yeah, Dustin Aruda.Mortgages. So yeah, check him out. He's awesome.
Excellent.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and this is perfect. I mean, it's kind of a good segue into raising capital, which is one of our topics. So you need good drinks when you're raising capital.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I see Rosal down there. You're here for the drinks. So yeah, we need some wine.
Enjoy the drinks.
We're going to talk about some more wine after, but you have to listen to how to raise capital. And using private funds, you need to set up, if you're going to go with some traditional mortgages, there's some ways around it. I mean, you have to make sure your mortgages do allow for some like secondary mortgages, or you have to plan. So like borrowing money, that's great from people, perfect, but you have to make sure it fits with your plan and the bigger picture. So
well, you have to put it to good use as well to make sure that you can pay that money back.
Yeah, exit strategy. I can't say it enough, but
yeah, so important.
normally you need about 3 of them, I find, just to be safe. And especially with this economy right now, it's so uncertain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I'm curious to know, like, you've done way more capital raising than I have, and all of my borrowing so far has been conventional, and that's definitely about to change. So I'm interested to learn more about how you've raised funds. You know, have you done more private borrowing from, you know, like actual private lenders, or have you found people who are more interested in using their RSPs and to get better returns? What has been your experience so far?
So actually, people RSPs, it's great thing, but for some reason it hasn't worked out for us. Most people would want to lend their lines of credit, their HELOCs, or cash, just straight out cash.
Okay.
So we have a couple. They're gonna lend us cash. So it's not it's savings. Obviously, it's not from their mattress. They're not pulling it out. Not yet.
Right.
And then there's a lady as well. It's going to be from a HELOC, so home equity line of credit. So she's actually lending us money that she doesn't have really. So she's going to earn some money on it, which is awesome. It's a win-win solution. It's our gain. We're able to buy more. We're actually touring some properties on Sunday if they're not sold by then. But anyway, we're hopeful. Yes. And then, so RRSPs, RESPs and all that, it takes time. So the people we've approached, they do have RRSPs, RESPs, but they're a little more cautious about it. So
yeah.
And some have really good returns. So a lot of investors say, oh, you get 0 return with RESPs, but we've met some people and they were, my mom's boyfriend, he's like getting like 18% on his RESP. That's a good interest rate. So keep it there. Good for you. But others are getting 1, 2, 3%. So then that's where you wanna lend it out and earn like 8, 10, 12, 14% interest. And it's secured, so it's a great way. But people are lending us their lines of credit, and we're using promissory notes, which is great. So it's secured, but it's not secured against a specific property. So it allows the freedom to use it to renovate a place or do any project you want. Of course, you have to have space on your properties to refinance and pay that out at some point.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one? We've done a second mortgage as well. I think it was a line of credit again as well, a mortgage broker. So that was great too. He was lending it to us for 12 months. We paid him back in 9 months. We did a refinance and just paid him off, and that was great. Everybody was happy.
So have you done vendor takebacks yet?
No, so we've tried again, but it's just the amounts were too small. So I know it's a great way of doing things, but the vendor takebacks we were getting were like 10%, and we were looking at commercial mortgages. So we wanted 30% vendor takeback, or like 30% of the loan value. So it just wasn't enough. And then we needed a secondary mortgage and like a second mortgage. And the VTB is a second mortgage, so you'd have a third mortgage. Yeah. Then it gets a little dicey. We could have gone. Promissory note could have worked, but there was one deal we needed 600,000. So that's quite a sizable promissory note. I'm comfortable now asking like 100, 200,000, but 600K. Yeah, we needed
Quite steep.
a glass of wine before.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you, John? How are you doing your capital raising?
So we have kind of spent a little more time focusing on joint venture partners rather than private money. Although we've now, because we started doing some direct mailers, we could come across a flip, or we could come across potentially a long-term buy and hold, like a duplex conversion or something. And so we actually made an offer on a property for a flip the other night, and we couldn't reach a deal with the seller. But in that particular case, we would have been borrowing privately, and I have access to private money through my broker, and I've actually been reaching out to people on social media. I've had good conversations with lenders to just kind of have in my back pocket when we need them. And I think it's better that way, because through a broker, you're paying the points up front and everything too, whereas you may not have to do that without a broker, or less points anyway. And then since we've gotten a little bit more active on social media, we've attracted some people who are interested in maybe doing a deal with us as partners. So we have one couple right now who is basically just waiting to have some financing that they're working on right now put in place, and then once it's in place, they're ready to go on a duplex conversion with us. That'll likely be the next project, is buying another duplex, a bungalow in Kitchener, and converting it to a duplex. And it'll be our first joint venture partnership, so that's exciting. So that's kind of what we're working on now. But up until now, we've just done deals that we were able to do on our own. So as we get to the point now where we're almost at that brick wall where it's getting a little bit tougher to do stuff, especially big projects, on our own. Yeah. We're turning to partnerships and some flips with private money.
And it expands your horizons and your thinking as well. So I know there's the abundance thinking. Yes, you have to think abundantly and all that. Mm-hmm. But also partners bring things to the table, like knowledge, and it's been very enriching for us. Like just the one tip, I think I mentioned it already, but the whole BMO banking, I'm still stuck on that one. You pay one fee and you can open 20 sub accounts, or 19, which reminds me we need to open another one for our private lender, but it's so great for managing all the money and all the properties. So
and what's great with you is also you're doing that joint venture for a duplex conversion, but they're going to be gaining from your expertise because you just did it.
Yes, you know the ins
exactly,
and outs, and you know all about. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you guys know all about doing the duplex conversion.
And all the stainless steel. I saw the post there that you had to add some stainless steel stuff.
But you learned a lot.
That will never happen again. That will never happen again. We learned some stuff. And while I would say the whole project went pretty smoothly, we learned a lot of stuff. And some stuff that I think maybe the contractor who has done multiple duplex conversions should probably have brought up, but that stainless steel was basically the proximity of the bottom of that cupboard to the stove. It was just not enough space. So had they put a slightly shorter cabinet as the last cupboard there, we wouldn't have needed that. And we may have configured it differently, where the stove wouldn't have been next to the fridge, because it wasn't right next to the enclosure of the fridge. That also needed stainless steel. So we would just design the kitchen differently the next time, and that wouldn't be required. But it's lessons like that help you every time you do a project. You learn these things, and it helps you to make it smoother every time. But one of the things that we're really enjoying is reaching out to people and offering help. Like you said, not only do I learn a ton, especially from people like you. I've reached out to you many times, and you're very generous with your time and your knowledge. I'm really enjoying helping newer investors I have a long way to go as far as becoming like an expert in all things real estate. But when someone comes in and into the kind of the community and is new, I spend time with them. I talk to them and kind of help them strategize and give them some pointers on where to start. And I'm really enjoying that. So I think that's going to be one of the most rewarding things for us doing partnerships is people are going to learn from us, and that's a really good feeling. So it's a win-win, for everyone. So yeah.
It really is. That's why we have the Right Club sign there. So their slogan is "Come grow with us." I don't think you can see it. You can't see it there, but it's "Come grow with us," and they're big-time real estate investors. So really, they don't need us at all. They're good on their own. I mean, they have many, many properties, many years of experience, but just like you and us, we like helping others. And as you grow and help the others grow, it's just like synergistic. It's like a wheel turning and you're just snowball effect. So yeah, absolutely. I think it's so great. And it's helping Canada grow. It's like we were just having a conversation. It's kind of sad. Like the middle class is really being hit in many ways. And I find real estate and the real estate community is preserving what is kind of left of the middle class as we know it. So I think for our kids, you guys have kids too. So very important to ensure a future for them and make sure they can keep drinking wine. Need another there.
Not keep drinking. They haven't started yet.
Yeah, we're not like friends from France. We're not drinking wine in the morning yet.
No.
Yeah.
But also said you also did a letter campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. So
tell us more.
We started off. I would say we started off kind of small. So the first thing we did was we while we were actually working with the printer to get the letters printed, which I'll go into, we were also handwriting letters. We did some driving for dollars, went around our town and kind of the neighboring, like we lived just outside of Kitchener, so we went around in our town of New Hamburg and some neighborhoods, specific neighborhoods in Kitchener, and we sent some letters that were addressed to that specific homeowner, and we thought throwing a little bit of more personal touch on might help. And we did get a couple calls. A lot of them are tire kickers. One old man said, "How much?" He called me and just said, "How much?" And I said, "Well, let's set up a time. I'll come check it out." He's like, "No, you're not coming in." I said, "Well, I can certainly give you some sort of ballpark, but I'm not buying anything without coming to take a look." And I didn't even get to the point with him where, was it COVID-19 the reason why he didn't want me to come in, or was he hiding something? And I wasn't willing to find out. So I basically, that one didn't really go anywhere. And then I got a couple people who didn't like the idea of getting that letter. Some people get offended by them. And then some people just called and said, "I'm interested, but really we gotta see the number," and they didn't really work out. So so Canada Post in August, I think it ended at the end of August, had a promotion where they were offering up to 6,000 pieces of mail for free as far as the postage goes, and all we would do is pay for printing. Whether it was through Canada Post or through a third-party printer, which is what we did. So we just started with that. We spent just over $400. We sent 6,000 8.5 by 11 handwritten letters out, and they're basically they're dropped into mailboxes as is. There's no stamp, no nothing on them. They're just kind of put in with the mail. And so because we sent 6,000 out, and it's only been a week or two, I expect that over time we'll get a few calls here and there from them, but a lot of stuff has to fall into place for those deals to work out.
Yes.
And so we'll see how it goes. It's not a lot of money, just as a trial. And if one deal comes to fruition, it makes it well worth it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a cool experience. Actually, our letter ended up on the news. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? Really?
No, I didn't see that one. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, one of the editors, or I think he was called an assignment editor from CTV Kitchener, emailed me from the email address that he saw on the flyer and said, would you be willing to talk about cash house buying and the process and how it works? And I didn't respond. I was not really interested. I was, of course, publicity is good, but I didn't know which angle he was coming from.
With they could be bashing you as well.
Right. And I didn't respond, thinking, there was probably at least half a dozen of those letters going out in the same neighborhoods at the same time. So I figured he's probably called or emailed a bunch of different people, and the story may make it on the air, but without me. And so they didn't obviously have any comments from me, but they did show our letter with our names and our phone number and our email address on there just for a split second. But we got calls from people that knew us and said, "Hey, is this you?" And so it's not a bad thing. It's just I was taken aback for sure because
you never know which way it's gonna go.
But it was a positive story. It was really outlining the fact that it's not a scam.
Yeah.
And that it's a legitimate business, and people have been doing it for a long time, and that it really does help a certain demographic of people.
It does, really. It like, even right now with COVID, like sick people that don't want people, or people that are immune compromised, they don't want people touring their house, or young families. Yep. Like when we put our house up for sale in March, we had how many visitors? Like 30 something. And that was just before they announced the pandemic. We came back home. We're like, okay, we're going to spray everything and open the windows. Because we knew we went away for a few days, and we're like, I can't have all these people and living in that house. So that could have been helpful. And it's helping as well investors, because off-market deals. Yeah, any deal, but off market's even better because you have a bit more time sometimes to structure something that's win-win for everybody. So yourself, so you have lots of people joining us on the call, I guess you could say. Yeah. So actually, I see Alex, so one of our potential partners, the new build couple from Rockland. Cool.
Yeah.
We love what you guys are doing. All those new constructions, new builds.
I'm blown away by those guys. I think it's amazing what Rob and Matt are doing. Like, I just think that's a special skill, and that's why you don't see that particular strategy happening all that much, because it's a very special skill to be able to build houses. Yeah. And they're managing them too. They've got their landlords too, so it's quite a lot, but they're doing a great job at it.
It is. I want the hot tub they were featuring on one of their stories.
Yes, that's very impressive.
Like wooden sunken. Hey, maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, we'll have
we
to
should
check
start
it out.
digging. And
Yes.
What about chickens though? Are you into chickens?
Chickens, well, we eat them. I eat them.
Yeah, I don't want any chickens running around.
No. I also saw Cam Rowland. I'm not sure if he's still on there.
I saw him on there,
from Winnipeg, so this is really cool. Oh no, it's broken, your hot tub.
Oh,
but you still have the chickens.
We only live 15 minutes from Rockland.
Yes, yeah, we can almost see it.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a great area. So something else we wanted to talk about. So back onto wine, we made a nice little discovery.
Yes.
Maybe 2 weeks ago, and tomorrow on Sunday, when we're touring for new properties. Oh, you love your chickens. Cool. Are you gonna eat them or just have the eggs?
The eggs. I think they have them for eggs.
The eggs, okay.
But Ross was like, I want to eat the chicken.
Yes. Fresh chicken.
You wouldn't be able to eat your pet. You wouldn't. I would
totally.
I think that he could eat his pet.
Yeah. After doing some demolition, I'm not good at construction, but demolition, absolutely.
Yes.
And
we are pros at demolition.
I would eat my pets. Yeah, I would probably name them too and pet them in my plate. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh my God.
A little scary, but anyway, we discovered there's a wine route. So the Eastern Ontario wine route, believe it or not, which is quite neat. There's about how many wineries? There's about 15 wineries out and around Ottawa, which is really neat. And we're currently drinking, this is a Marquette. So it's a specific wine that grows in like a much colder climate. You're in Kitchener, so you guys can grow some warmer climate grapes. But here, it has to be Frontenac, there's Marquette, Pinot Noir, like some of the cooler climates. And it's really neat. This one is like 15 minutes away near the chickens in Rockland. So.
Wine and chicken tour.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it was just neat. And then when we go on Sunday, we're visiting Cornwall, which is a great market. We have a few properties.
Secondary market, yeah.
We're looking at how many places. There's one that's off market.
Yeah, and then 3 other ones.
3 other ones. And then I see there's Smoky Ridge, which is a winery. We should do a little stop there after visiting our place.
Well, Cornwall's only about 5. Cornwall's only about 5 hours from us, so I could maybe meet you there for the ribs.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
And you can have some gin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some gin. And then there's a nice burger place in Cornwall. It's actually gold covered in gold leaves. It's $100 and you can get a burger that's covered in gold. So anyway, when we buy our next property, we'll have to buy
a golden burger.
Golden burger.
Golden burger. Nice.
So 5-hour drive, you want to join us. There's Jared Henderson as well. He's in Montreal, invests in Peterborough. He's probably meeting us in Cornwall as well to see some places, and he's wholesaling. So yeah, we're doing all kinds of crazy things. But
yeah, it's gonna be a busy day on Sunday.
Yes, we'll need more of this.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. No, you guys are always, I've said this to you many times, you guys are very, very impressive. You always have some, multiple things on the go, but you have everything under control, and you're go-getters. And I was saying to you yesterday, Francois, that I feel like a couple of things at once, so I can make sure that I stay focused, since I'm a little newer, and it'll take me a little bit of time to take on multiple projects at the same time, but I love watching you guys, because it's just so awesome to see what you guys are getting done.
Thank you.
But I think it really just builds up. Like, you kind of keep building on what you're doing, because you can't just start like that. And we are a little crazy.
Yeah.
I think you might need to be in real estate to begin with.
Yeah. Little bit. I see Lindsay joining us from St. Thomas or London.
Yeah,
Jessica's actually from St. Thomas. So
hello, Lindsay.
yeah, lucky guys. It's warmer down there. Today we had a nice warm day, but we've had a month of
cold weather.
0 for the past few days, scraping ice in the morning and then 18 at night. Anyway, crazy stuff. But
yeah,
we love it.
Yeah.
London market, St. Thomas, so much potential.
Yeah, it's pretty hot there as well. Yeah. Almost kind of like the Kitchener market, but not as expensive, I think.
Just a little bit less expensive, but I think just as hot.
Yeah, well, I think everywhere in Ontario right now is hot.
Yeah, even Hawkesbury, a small town, it's an hour east of Ottawa, and they've had multiple bids and crazy offers. So you just have to be very smart about your deals, and that's where the private money comes in handy, because then you can go in no conditions, because usually you're pre-approved. I mean, you got the money in your pocket. Yeah, Lindsay said super hot market. Yeah, it's just nuts everywhere. Where else did we hear that was a crazy market? We were shocked. Some other place.
It was Hawkesbury.
Yeah, Hawkesbury. Normally it's so depressed. Everything sells for less than the asking, and out there it was selling for more than asking. So just crazy. Ottawa, there's a townhouse that sold 84 offers, 250,000 over asking. So something is messed up.
Well, and any suburban areas are getting really busy too, because people are moving out of the cities just because they want to get away from the dense population with COVID-19 too. So it's just, people are where was it? I think it wasn't Hamilton. I forget what city I read today, where they just can't keep up. Even the rental market can't keep up with the demand for people moving into the area. So
yeah,
I can understand it. I think I'd probably be trying to do the same thing, but it makes for a crazy market for sure.
It does.
For sure.
Like when we put our apartment for rent, our apartments in our latest duplex, we had about 40 applicants per unit, which is very, very good. We were able to choose, and I also work in the retirement industry, so the retirement home where I work, I can almost be picky now. And I had 3 tours today. People are signing for leases, and it's just, yeah, it's just red hot everywhere. You just need to find a place to live. We should start renting out our basement.
Yes.
So anyway, something else I wanted to announce. So October 7th, we're going to have another exciting guest.
To capitalize.
So
and
Mandy Branham is joining
people,
us
right?
live. Sorry?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I think, I don't know if it's,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know if it's my internet or not, but I'm going to try a different spot.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
There we
Yes.
go.
So in the meantime,
Yeah, so we just wanted to announce October 7th, we're going to have Mandy Branham join us live on Instagram and hopefully Facebook. The JV Queen's going to talk to us about her favorite wine and her tips and tricks. And she's going to give us some hot advice like she did on the phone. She told me smarten up and gave us some great pointers. Focus on this, not on that. And I just love her energy. And
yeah.
Jon,
straightforward.
yeah, she's so straightforward. And it's thanks to Jon. He said, why don't you give her a call? And I did. And now we're like in contact. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, she's great. We did the same after you. We talked to her, and man, it's an eye opener.
Yeah, you have
like
to be ready.
the things that you were doing that you thought were like, yeah, this is gonna get me somewhere, and she was just like,
don't waste your time.
You're not doing that.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So.
Yeah. I was going to ask you something else, but I lost it now. But if I think of it, I'll ask you. But what projects? Oh, sorry, that's what it was. The cottage. I saw that you've listed. I mean, you probably had it listed for a while, but I saw you posted a listing for like a discounted kind of weekday type of rate over the next little while. How's the cottage going, and what kind of activities do you have on it?
It's
amazing.
Great. Yeah, because it's on Airbnb, but I mean, with the season, it's a seasonal cottage, so it's from May 1st to October 31st. And as it's winding down, we have some openings. So we thought, and it's also grape harvest season in Prince Edward County, so people can take advantage of it and go. We're actually going next weekend, and we can't even stay at our own cottage, but we're gonna rent some hotel.
Okay. Yes.
It's not going to be the same, but we're going to be picking some grapes by Chad C's Cairns. It's a very nice winery. But anyway, people can rent the cottage 3 nights. We have a special promo on, and then they can go. There's 40 wineries to choose from, so
it's a beautiful
very nice area, and
it's
the beach.
Steps to the beach.
Yeah, it's near Sandbanks, right?
Yeah, Sandbanks is a stone's throw away. Toronto is only a 2-hour drive. Ottawa's 3 hours. Montreal about 4. So it's a really good spot. Well, you have family that lives nearby, I think, in Wellington. So beautiful area.
It's a beautiful town. Very beautiful there. Yeah.
We're probably going to look at, again, the winery is actually for sale, the one we're going to. So I'm going to be looking at it with an investor's eye. Yeah,
you don't want to own a winery, Jennifer?
I think that sounds like a lot of work.
It's probably only about $1 million, but that's okay. Just numbers.
Oh my goodness.
How's your out of province stuff going? Your Moncton stuff.
New Brunswick. It's been interesting. There's been some ups and downs. We've changed property management as well, so. That's something else that's been very beneficial in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's
3 weeks.
A month.
So in September, when we turned
September 1st.
September 1st, we changed property management. So that's a learning curve because all our properties, the other ones were all within an hour drive. We managed ourselves. Getting used to someone else taking over your property and just communication and all. We're I don't know. I don't think we're that demanding, but it just wasn't quite right, so we've decided.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. My Moncton property, I think we were using the same property management and I'm still with them, but I've had to address communication issues a couple of times. I don't need, as the owner, I don't need to know about everything,
No.
but I insist on knowing about anything that's going to affect the revenue, the money in our bank account, right? And so our triplex there is going really well.
Good.
There was one tenant. It was fully tenanted when we bought it, and when we saw the rent, it had just been, all the leases were newly signed, and I couldn't comprehend why the rents were so low. And I think what we ended up chalking it up to, and still even today, is the property management company didn't have the old owner's best interest at heart. They just wanted to get it rented.
Yeah.
And so we knew that we could get more for those units. So we started the process, giving notice to remove the hydro from the rent, and then we're going to be subsequently going and doing another notice period to increase the rents. But we did have one unit. It was a 1-bedroom plus a den that was being rented for $800 a month, including hydro.
Whoa. Okay. So very inexpensive.
and so yeah, so he in August 1st, he did not pay his rent.
Oh wow.
And we're not sure how long he was gone, but at least a couple of weeks went by, and he had left. He had moved out and didn't tell anybody.
Oh gosh.
Boy.
And it couldn't have been better. I mean, like,
it's a good blessing.
he moved out. He actually had the nerve to go into the property management office and ask for his deposit back.
Wow.
They said, well, you didn't pay rent for August and you just left without telling us, so you're not getting your deposit back. So we got the deposit, which means we weren't out any money. And by September 1st, that same unit that was rented for $800 all inclusive is now rented for $1,150 plus hydro.
Wow.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
that is market rent. We're not out there to gouge anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's at market rent now. It's a newly renovated building. It's right near downtown. It's worth every penny. And so we gave our notice to remove hydro on July 1st. So October 1st, that will come into effect. And then on the same day, we'll give another 90-day notice to increase the rents on the other units. And so that property will end up being somewhere right in between $1,500 and $2,000 a month cash flow when we're done.
Wow.
And so, but when that, to continue my earlier story, when that guy didn't pay and moved out, we found out the following month the middle of that month when we got our invoice. They just said tenant,
That's
$0 tenant eviction.
know.
And I said, this cannot happen, because not only did I not know that I wasn't getting as much rent sent to me that month, but if you're not telling me these things, that means that I can't communicate to you what I want you to advertise it for. And all of that affects the bottom line. And so I said, and they simply said, like, most owners don't want to be bothered. I'm like, well, don't bother me with the small stuff, but that's not small. I need to know.
Well, it's 1/3 of your revenue, one unit out of a triplex. Let's say you have 300 units. Okay, then don't bother. But one out of 3, that's a big deal. Same with us. I mean, we have 2 + 5, so we have 7. So I mean, if there's a few of them there that are not rented, it makes a big difference. When I have 300, like I said, then don't call me. But now, please call me. If the lawn is a bit long, don't bother. That's okay. Don't tell me.
Not to mention that when I asked them how much they were planning on relisting it for, she said to me, well, it was rented for $800 before. No intention of trying to get more. And then when I said, no, we're definitely not advertising this unit for $800 a month. I said, she said, well, I think you can probably get 1,000. And I said, advertise it for $1,200. And they got $1,150.
Wow.
That's
so
good.
Like the communication is so important. So, we're going to give them more time. Other than that, they've done a good job. Like, we get paid when we're supposed to get paid, and the things are being dealt with that need to be dealt with. But really, they just need to, send me an email or call me when something big happens, and I'm happy. So
the roof is leaking, the house is gone, it burned down. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be interesting to know. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's not a mobile home, you know, it doesn't just leave. So
Yeah.
That's great to know that it's working out well. That's great cash flow in your property.
Yeah. So New Brunswick, great place to invest, really. And it's much more landlord friendly, but it's nice just hearing from you. You were also a good landlord. You gave them 2 notices, so you gave them a chance, I mean, to get used to paying their own hydro and then getting used to new rent, not just pull the Band-Aid and here you go, you're going to pay for everything. And which is
exactly.
I think it's good to be fair, and yeah, we're like, we are in it for cash flow and money, of course, but we don't want to gouge people. There's some families, there's some hardworking people, and it's been tough with COVID, so
So we're not, we didn't want to go crazy. We could have just given them the notice for everything all at once, and we told the property management company, let's space it out, and by the beginning of next year, we'll have everything in place, and it gives them lots of time. And again, with the notice, it gives them enough time to leave if they want to.
Yeah, exactly. So they have the option. And I find any property we buy anyway, it always takes a good 3 to 6 months to really stabilize, do all the work that needs to be done, finding the right tenants or fine-tuning relationships and things, getting your systems going. So 3 to 6 months is kind of average. Like our cottage, this season was kind of testing season. It closes at the end of October, but next year, now we know we've learned a lot now. We're doing better at like automation and setting expectations as well, because it's short-term rental is a whole new thing, very exciting, very quick turnover. People are staying a few nights and then
boom,
you
somebody
have,
else.
boom, another person. And then some people focus on certain things, like the bed isn't soft enough. And then the next person, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. So you learn like what's important and what isn't. Same as being a landlord. Some people complain the light bulbs need to be changed, and others will complain about, I don't know, the grass is too long. So learn to manage expectations. And
exactly. If you under promise and over deliver, you can't go wrong. You just
that's important.
set the right expectations for sure.
Exactly. Cool.
Awesome.
Well, great conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Wine and real estate.
Yes, chin chin to the next
Chin
deal.
chin,
Here, let me just grab mine real quick here because I didn't bring it with me.
You do need a drink now.
Yes. Did you
There
feel
we go.
your gin? Was it good?
Oh yeah, this is great. Like this is my go-to if I'm gonna buy something in a can, which I try not to do. This is one of my go-tos. So yeah, I really enjoy this one.
Is it local or is it just Ontario?
Georgian Bay.
Oh, nice. So it's not far from you, really.
Not far. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cheers, Lindsay.
Cheers, Lindsay.
Cheers.
Yeah, we'll have to meet next time we're in St. Thomas with Lindsay and
we
John.
can stop and see you on the way.
John as well.
Yep.
We'll have to meet up in Wellington. We wanted to do. You're not as big of a fan with wine as us, but we want to do the wine tours, wine and real estate. So we'd love to.
I would definitely do a wine tour with you guys. It's not that I don't like wine. It's just that I'm not educated on wine. So I'll learn a lot for sure. But I'm down.
We're very new as well. I only started enjoying wine when I turned 35. So it's only been 5 years. And Jennifer, you liked wine in your late 20s.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Lindsay
we
need to drink some wine in Lake Erie, North Shore.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in. There you go.
Awesome.
So we need 6 people for the limo tour. So we need 3 more. Well, Amanda and then.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, we are planning potentially, depending on COVID and a few other things, to be in Wellington in the next month or two. So if timing works out, then we'll definitely meet up.
And let's say with COVID, I saw these really cool masks, and there's a hole for the straw for your wine. So
I don't know how effective that would be.
Yeah, we could wear full body, everything, like visor and the gown. I have some at work, gloves, and then we have a hole for the straw.
Yeah, we'll do a wine tour in our hazmat suits.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could put some advertising, like sponsorships and
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fun.
Great chatting with you as always. And
likewise.
We'll have to do this again. And
Sounds good.
Have a great
night. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Cheers. See you, everyone. Bye.